Um, this is a quite interesting one because I just had a conversation with someone that referred me into a video of a concept of thoughts create your emotions. And as all of you already know, I'm relatively a deep thinker about these kind of things. And what I noticed for myself, for my answer, for my insight around that one, is I currently believe or I live in a state where my um, emotions create the thoughts that I have. So that's the response based on the emotions. Because for me, it starts with that what we call the consciousness or that what we call the focus point, like the deepest version of inside of yourself. And the second layer, one of the second layers, is the emotional response. So in a case where you are experiencing a certain situation and something um, you didn't expect happened, then your first response is like an emotional one. It could be tension, fear, um, desire, angerness. Could be different things. And based on those emotional layers inside of yourself, then you can create a thought of I'm anxious about that specific situation. Or like the response, what you think about that one. And what I noticed, because as many of you already perhaps know, most probably, um, I'm creating that AIM concept, so action, information, and insight management, with an idea to create your own personal knowledge system to externalize your thoughts, your ideas, your thinking brain, and really convert that into you being more present in the here and the now, like living in this state that you are in. And like these kind of ideas, underlying ideas of um, like managing your intellect first, your thoughts first, and then the emotion gets started. Like that's kind of limiting you from actually diving into that emotional state constantly. And I truly think, with the deepest of my heart, as in it starts with that emotion first, and then the thoughts come. So with that AIM concept, it starts with externalizing your thinking, your ideas, all of that stuff. And the second thing is something that I call the I to EQ movement, or however you want to call it. I don't even want to call it a company because it isn't at this time. But the I to EQ movement actually means to switch from the intellectual coefficient to your emotional coefficient. And that doesn't mean that you can learn to be social, like that's a different set of skills. But the emotional coefficient actually means, in my books, is mastering the vibrational state of your body itself. So within the concept of map of consciousness, that includes that your body is made out of vibrations inside of them. The molecules move in a certain speed, and we translate that as the observer of the body, like I, if you believe that kind of stuff. Like I observe that movement, that vibration of the body as an emotional result, emotional experience. Let me say it differently, emotional experience. And with that whole idea of I to EQ, we break through of the level of we need to be intellectually strong, like the power that we perceived as us needing to be emotionally strong. Sorry, intellectually strong, because a lot of our Western society, at least, is focused upon that one. The smarter that you are, the more that you earn, and the more that you have a decent like life. Um, and I kind of want to reframe that into like the true value underneath all of this is that idea of emotional coefficient. like you learning how to master that vibrational state inside of you, or at least let go of the resistance that's what's holding you to experience that state of um, well, basically that emotional state. So even if you're depressed, then it's the invitation to go into that angerness, to go into that first next step. And then if you're angry, then to go into that courage. And if it's courage, then it's going into that neutrality and then acceptance and then all of those little extra steps. Map of Consciousness, highly recommended. Book of Letting Go of David Hawkins. And what I noticed myself is the more and more that I'm externalizing my thoughts, so I can be the observer of my thoughts with the concept of aim, the more and more that I'm leaning into that concept of I to EQ, where like I'm actually more present in the here and the now as a result. And that's such a powerful idea and concept um, that I'm currently living more in the state of having interactions with people and showing them what's possible or how can we create some beautiful things like this. And it's unbelievable what kind of a journey that I've gone through as a result. And part of this, of feeling very comfortable on going live on subject like these, because these are very profound ideas that like most people would mention like, Tim, you're crazy. And like that's fine. Like I don't really care about that. In this state, I'm really um yeah, showing like or at least like sharing my insights, what I've kind of learned along the way. Um Also with journeys of an Andrew Tate, and Jordan Peterson, and Mind Valley, and Neil Donald Walsh, and Abraham Hicks, a Bashar, like all of these different like layers that I've kind of gone through. It's quite interesting to be in a state right now to be very comfortable with sharing those layers and like helping out many other people like similar as me with like a very shy introvert and kind of go through those levels to actually help out more people, like other people in general. Um, so with this, the starting point of this whole conversation was that idea of your thoughts create your emotions, or your emotions create your thoughts. And my personal preference, premise, my personal belief is my emotions come first, and then my thoughts are a result out of that one. And that's such a powerful internal switch that I really want to invite you to lean into as well. Yeah, let me end it off with this one. Thank you very much and see you next time. Bye bye.